All right, so this is going to be the only liquidity strategy you'll ever need because I'm going to explain it super, super simple, okay? This is a topic that gets so overly complicated on the internet and it drives me nuts because I was once in your shoes where I was extremely confused and intimidated by the idea of learning what liquidity is. And it really is so simple. Imagine this, okay? Liquidity is where people place their stop losses. So where do people place their stop losses? In the most obvious support and resistance areas, above consolidation zones and also below consolidation zones, above candle highs and lows, above extreme wicks, and session highs and lows, right? And these are the most obvious areas that people place their stop losses. So how many of us have been in a trade where we are expecting price to continue like this, but what does price do instead? We look for an entry around this pullback right here. We're going to place our stop loss below this last low. And what does price do? It comes down, grabs that liquidity here, and then continues in our intended direction. This is a trade that happens a lot, and I have probably 50 screenshots of trades that have done just this to me, where we have the overall idea, but we are becoming that liquidity, and we're getting tapped out by liquidity grabs or liquidity sweeps. How do we avoid this from happening? Well, in my continuation strategy, one of my confirmations is, has price grabbed liquidity yet? So this is the general idea with my trading continuation strategy, right? We're looking for a nice, beautiful trend, which we have here. And we're then looking for a possible liquidity sweep of a previous candle low. So imagine this on the 5-minute, and we'll do this on a real chart too. But the idea is, how can we confirm that the pullback is over? Okay, so one, did price grab liquidity? Yes or no? Yes, it did. Okay, so now we're looking for our entry. Our entry is right here. We now have an area that we can place our stop loss below this low or below this current candle low, and then we look to take the continuation, right? So there's a few options that we can do with our stop losses. Now that we understand, okay, price did grab liquidity down here, you can either have a liquidity stop loss or you can have a tighter stop loss up here. Another area of my strategy is these no wick areas, right? So sometimes with big momentum, we have price pushing and price leaves a no bottom wick on a new candle. So imagine this on the 5-minute, we'll keep it simple. And say the 5-minute leaves a no bottom wick. I currently have no area for my stop loss. Both of these areas did not grab liquidity. This area hasn't grabbed liquidity yet. What happens within this candle? We finally come down, we fill that no wick. We've also grabbed liquidity, and now I'm ready to take that continuation. I've finally confirmed a pullback has happened, and I now have a place for my stop loss, and I can confirm that the continuation has good momentum. Another example is this. Say we have a big volume candle here, and this is again on the 5-minute, and we are unable to get in somewhere down here, and we're like, uh-oh, we feel that we may have missed our opportunity. How can we get in and confirm that the pullback is over? We can confirm it by this liquidity sweep of the previous candle low. So we have a 5-minute pullback, and we're finally starting to see a bullish candle here. I'm waiting for that bullish candle to close above the previous candles here, but more importantly, I want to see a liquidity sweep of the previous range or previous candles. So once we get that, we have the candle close up here. I'm looking for a continuation and my entry model. So now that we understand a little bit better what exactly liquidity looks like and how we can use it to confirm our continuation strategy, we also want to see what it does after it taps liquidity, okay? So a key part of this here is I'm always looking for a candle close. So in this case, I'm looking for buy continuations because I'm overall bullish on price. And what do I want to see after we grab liquidity? I want to see that bullish candle close. So we immediately want to see that expand away from that liquidity. We want to see good volume. We want to see a nice clean candle close, showing that the sweep was just fuel for continuation rather than a possible reversal, okay? Also, liquidity can be seen as like a second opportunity in case you've missed the first opportunity. So in other words, like say we missed our entry down here and now we just had this huge candle kind of pop up and we feel like, oh, we've missed our chance. I really like to pay attention to these no wick areas because price almost always comes back for that liquidity. right? So this kind of gives us a second opportunity to get in a continuation once we confirm that prices grab that liquidity. Also, when there is volume, a lot of times we kind of get these like shallow pullbacks where a lot of people may be waiting for like 50% of the range to get filled or a fair value gap to get filled. And as you guys should know, I don't trade fair value gaps. I just feel like they don't work as well as everyone makes it out to be. So the way that I like to confirm a pullback is not through fair value gaps or anything like that. What I like to confirm it by is, has price grabbed that liquidity, right? So previous candles here, say we're on the 5 minute, again, we'll keep it simple. The 5 minute here is popping up quite fast. And all I care about is, did we grab a little bit of the previous candle to continue? Because what I'm waiting for is this liquidity grab to put my stop loss below. Because if I don't have a liquidity grab, that means I'm using a much wider stop loss. And so this is something I'm always paying attention to, especially in 2026 with my continuations. Once I get my entry somewhere up here, I now have a liquidity stop loss. Prices already came and grabbed those orders. I can now look for my entry and look for that continuation up here. Before we head on to the chart, if you guys like my simple approach to trading, this is the exact same system that I share in my mentorship program, but we go way more in depth. You get access to my entire PDF files. You get access to my entire course. You also get one-on-one access to me, so we can kind of accelerate your learning within the first 90 days and get you guys up to speed. There's also going to be live streams 3 to 5 times a week. So I go live in New York session with my mentorship students. It's really awesome. And yeah, we don't just take trades. We also like to review them so you can stop repeating the same mistakes and start trading with some good structure. So yeah, if you guys are interested, I'll leave it linked down below. And yeah, let's get on to the charts here. For the sake of this video today, we're keeping it simple. I'm first of all looking for a trend. In this case, we're bullish, so I'm looking for some buy continuations. I'm looking for a pullback entry, price to grab that liquidity from the previous candle low, and then a candle close with direction. Okay, so in this case today, I'm looking for a pullback and then a bullish close for price to continue higher. So let's see. Okay, perfect. So we grabbed the previous candle low here, and what have we done? We've closed with direction. So now I'm looking for a candle to confirm that we're going to have a further continuation. There we go. So we got that breakout of that candle right there. Perfect. Entry right here. We'll take a buy. Perfect. Okay. So very, very simple continuation. We grab that liquidity. We had that candle close, right? We got our entry right here and we look for that 2R for that continuation. So very simple. And even just playing this chart, what do I notice immediately? I notice, let me go back. What do we notice here on the 5 minutes, right? We have no wicks. Okay, so this 5 minute is exactly what I'm talking about for liquidity to grab. So we have a no wick right here, and we also have another one right here. Okay, so what does that mean? I'm expecting price to come down, grab liquidity, and then continue higher. So let's see what price does. Okay, we grab that liquidity. Very, very nice. Now I'm looking for a bullish close with direction. So bullish blue candle. There we go. We can take this early entry here for a long and put our stop below that no wick area, or we can wait for a close outside this range, either way. Okay, so either way this could have worked. We could either wait for that close outside, but in this example, I really want to show you guys how we grab that no wick area, actually both no wick areas, and then we saw that bullish continuation on the 5 minute. So both back to back, very clean. And these are both opportunities that you could have taken in Asia session. So we got 1.76 R here and we have 1.65 R here, okay? All right, so say we haven't had the opportunity to enter yet. Maybe we weren't on the charts, but we see a really clear trend and we want to try and get in to continue this trend, okay? Maybe there's a key level up here somewhere that we want to try and capitalize on. I'm not sure, but when I'm looking for kind of like a shallow pullback, I'm looking for a 5 minute pullback like this here, and then liquidity to grab one of these previous 5-minute lows. So let's see how price pulls back here. Okay, so what do we have? We have a little bit of a liquidity grab possibly, but I really want to see price actually confirm above these bearish candles here. So in this case, I'm waiting for a bullish close above. Not yet. Okay, there we go. So I finally have that bullish close above. Maybe I want to try and take this buy. I'll put my stop loss below that liquidity wick that we have, and I'm looking to target that 2R or close to 2R here, just like that, okay? Perfect, right? So, okay, so very simple and straightforward. What did we have to identify in order to get 3 of these trades in this Asia session? All we had to do was identify the trend. In this case, we had a very clear bullish trend. We had to identify a pullback area. So we had these bearish candles pulling back every time, right? We always grabbed liquidity from the previous candle low. So we grabbed liquidity here, we grabbed liquidity here. And we also had a bullish candle close with direction. So we had that type of like breakout candle, you might say, or a close that was bullish with our candle direction here. So all you needed was 4 simple setups to get in with this continuation strategy. And if you guys want to learn more from me, make sure to join my mentorship. I'll leave it linked down below.